You're still on to Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. It's time for newspaper review.
All right, we have Chukwudi Ubaja with us this morning. Chukwudi, good to see you. Good morning.
You actually look like somebody who is happy to see me.
Yes, I
Your
am.
sincerity is transparent. Hello, Nyere. Victor.
Well, I'm not happy to see you. I'm just okay seeing you.
You look
That's what you want to see here?
You look like somebody who is ambitious towards a throne, a young monarch in the making.
He's not likely going to get it, by the way. He's not likely going to get it, by the way. Remember the last time you were on? You said he's not a good man. So we want good people on the throne. So let's see what the papers have this morning. The lead stories on the front pages, of course. So we'll begin with the People's Daily. And it leads with Tinubu demands swift justice over Super Eagles' mistreatment in Libya. All right, that's the lead story. And above that, flooding. Over 300 houses destroyed in Benue. We must act collectively to tackle unemployment, says Shatima. All right, below the picture story, still on the front page of the People's Daily, we have man back 7 years imprisonment for defiling minor in Kano. That's on page 7 if you want to see that. And on page 14 rather, you can read up the story on Edo Guba. PDP heads to tribunal. Education, new curriculum to commence January 2025, according to Minister. You want to find out what that's about. And of course, this is coming from our very own former First Lady, Patience Jonathan. Shun prostitution, drug abuse. Patience Jonathan urges ladies. All right, so let's see the Daily Trust quickly now. The Daily Trust leads with this headline that says 50-year-old students sues Education Ministry, JAMB, NUC over admission policy. The writer says 18-year admission threshold discriminatory. We're not aware of case yet, according to ministry. All right, that's on page 3. And we have Nigeria boycotts African qualifier after Libya ordeal, because that's on all the papers this morning. And over 2 million people displaced as 200 Kogi communities flooded, according to the government. And that's on page 3. Below that, the PDP drama is right here. PDP governors meeting on Damagum's fate, deadlocked. Page 8 has all the details. And that's it from the Daily Trust. Let's see what Victor is still.
All right. I have the blueprint, and it leads with this story: 2025 AFCON qualifiers. Nigeria demands justice over Super Eagles' harrowing experience in Libya. And it has 3 riders: Ekong, Boniface, Osimhen, lament ordeal. Treatment sad, despicable, say Nidcom, Shehu Sani. CAF refers case to disciplinary board. Libya FA denies sabotage. And you find the story on pages 7 and 32. And above that story and just below the nameplate, $1.6 billion fraud. Ex-AGF co-defendant submits plea bargain proposal to EFCC. Page 9. And cheaper petrol likely as Dangote marketers discuss oil lifting. Page 21. And in sports, former Green Eagles goalkeeper Fregene is dead. That's page 32. And above the masthead, subsidy removal will discourage cross-border smuggling. That's according to Kiari. For how? Find it on page 20. And then there is this picture story of a collapsed building, 3-story building at number 16 Amusu Street, Sari Gomu in Lagos. That's on Monday. And you can imagine what that feels like with people living there. And with 9.1 trillion naira revenue, $6 billion capital inflow in 6 months, Tinubu's reforms working. Economy showing signs of hope and resurgence. That's according to Independent Media and Policy Initiative, IMPI. Okay, I think we should leave it here, but just after this final story, autonomy, Nasarawa moves to abolish Ministry of Local Government joint account. I think that's the way to go. Chukwode.
Oh, that's a very good one coming from Nasarawa.
Because they used to have Ministry of Local Government.
Let them be wonderful trailblazers. But at the end of the day, should it ever come into contention whether a Supreme Court judgment should be obeyed or not? I think it's all procedural. They have no choice. Everyone has to eventually allow that autonomy thing to kick in because that's what the Supreme Court has said. We must make that very clear.
And stop resisting.
So that people do not have the impression that they can try an alternative. There is no alternative. That should be something the media should come down hard on about, rather. Fregene is dead. Nigeria has had very good goalkeepers, but Fregene happens to be one of the very best we've had. May his soul rest in perfect peace. I hope we recognized his meritorious duties to this country while he was still alive.
I was going to ask, is there imperfect peace?
Imperfect what?
Peace.
We didn't come here for gymnastics in semantics or elocution. Can we please concentrate on newspaper review? I saw that mischief on your face, even though it was, clouded in a seeming smile.
You can have imperfect peace, by the way.
I'm not sure. Peace is peace.
I'll explain that to you much later.
Newspaper review, lady and gentlemen. Now, the young man who is suing the Ministry of Education, JAM, and the rest of them over the 16-year thing, the 18 years which has been pegged for entry into tertiary education. Tertiary should be university level, third tier. Now, I don't think there's a lot of brouhaha that should, rise from all this. The important thing is, has anyone impugned a law? You know, I like taking us, there's so much theatricals about the way we live our lives. Is it law? If it's not law, challenge it on the basis of law. Don't challenge it on the basis of emotion. That's the point. We said the other time, I said, when my children were about to get into the university, I was then working for MBI. Somebody asked me, Chukwudi, why are you in this hurry to push your children into the university? I spent a lot of time in the UK and all that. People don't rush into tertiary institutions like that. So while Nigerians clamor for something that distinguishes us, positively maybe, we should also compare ourselves to some education systems in the world to make sure we are not a pariah over certain things. For instance, when people say that he must be 6 before he gets into primary school, they are looking at the span for development of the cognitive abilities and all that. They are looking at how independent would he be to some extent when he does step outside into the school system and all that. So there are psychological considerations concerning all this. But that's not to say the young man does not have a right to challenge. I'm just saying my own, interpretation of it. Yes. The floods are doing the rounds. The rounds are going to continue till the end of October or even second week of November. It's unfortunate how we have to recycle stories about the flood on and on and on.
And return next year to do same.
Yeah, it became a ritual. But then, the other thing I said was, if it's about the Lagdo Dam again, is there no way we can begin to think of channeling waters from that side? It's going to be a big job, but we can embark on a massive piping system that can channel water from the Cameroon down to the Atlantic, whatever the topography is. It's a huge sum. It is not something I think the Nigerian authorities only can do. The UN with its relevant agencies should step in to make sure that this happens. The environment actually is taking a lot of blasting from so many things, the elements especially. So we have to plan ahead. Climate change is no longer anybody's friend in the world. So we have to be preemptive rather than reactive. But in the interim, what is the integrity of buildings being erected on our landscape? Who is blocking the drainages and all that? Those are the little things we can do. It's not fair what is happening about floods on and on in this country. But it's not only Nigeria. Remember that cars were practically swollen. Swallowed in a deluge, you know, just 3 days ago, you know. Was the city again now? Was it Florida or not Florida? I can't be specific yet. But floods were really ravaging over there, you know. And it doesn't look ready to abate yet. So man has to plan, even though you can't stop Mother Nature when it really is in a rage.
Indeed.
Well said, Chukwudi. Just before we go, two things in the papers. The basic education new curriculum, which begins in January 2025, and looking at the details of that, it shows that skills will be introduced into the curriculum, just so that when...
Please mention the skills. I saw hairstyling, and I'm beginning to say, now we're becoming serious. Nyere, I don't know how much. Let me not mention the category of university degree I had about 38 years ago. I don't know how much it has done for me in life. I'm not disparaging education. But skills are it. When you have a product that people must ask for, even your enemy, you have come to the platform for making money. That's a simple secret.
Actually,
so I'm really very happy about this.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, you know, incorporating skills into, you know, the formal education they received from the four walls of the classroom. Of course, makes them better equipped to face the future.
Yeah.
Looking at the way the country
very
is
important.
going. Yeah.
I am happy about it.
Yeah, of course. And then the power grid collapse. It's the 5th time this year. So, and then you ask, when would this ever end?
I wanted to ask you whether that is really news now.
You know, a former minister would say it's
a
not collapse. It's not collapse. It's I don't know what word they will use for it.
A journalist would always want to be patriotic, but it reserves a little mischief so that it can help him write why the glass is half empty of water.
I think it's disputable anyway. Maybe the grid probably didn't collapse. Maybe it fainted.
Well, the good thing is that we read last week that we have pushed generation above 5,000 megawatts now. So, well, it's just that between President Jonathan's time and now, I don't know how much progress we have really made. And that's not good for us.
People talk about, we've had guests here talk about, you know, aging infrastructure, among other things, lack of, you know, insufficient funding and all that as part of the issues.
I'm not so sure I did so well in the MBA class.
Until these
but there is such a thing
addressed.
as building depreciation into your planning. Depreciation is very important. When you buy machinery, brand new, you're going to depreciate it and know when it will stop working positively for the company and sell it off or scrap it, whatever. Why didn't we plan that concerning that? So obsolete equipment does not mean anything to me.
Okay. All right. So just a quick explanation of what imperfect peace is, Victor. So when you do something wrong and your wife is quiet about it, that's imperfect peace. But we have perfect peace in the studio.
Did you hear that?
So we'll take a break. When we come back, we get into the conversation. Stay with us.